Hello, my name is Keshwani. It's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, the 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 160. Page 160, the second problem. Or rather, sorry, the third problem, number 60. Problem number 60. It's a very long problem, it's a very lengthy problem, it's a very wordy problem, so I put most of it on the blackboard. Here's what's going on. They use the word orangeette. I don't know how to pronounce the damn thing. I don't know I've never seen such a word before. They're trying to be funny. They have lemon. We have lemonade, which is made out of lemon. This is orangeette. I never heard of it. I'm just going to call it solution. So a solution was made. A solution was made, we are told, with equal amount of water and orange juice. On the next day, the same amount of orange juice was used. Let's say they had 1 can of orange juice, and the next day, on the first day, they pour 1 can of orange juice in the jar, and they filled up the same can with the water and put it in there and mixed it all up. On the next day, they had the same can of orange juice, they put it in there, and then they filled the same can up twice and put it in the jar. So in the next day, the same amount of orange juice was used with twice the water. Fine. We are told that everything was sold. Very nice. All of them. In other words, we had no leftover. And we are told that the same amount of revenue was generated on both days. So some small kid standing on the at the end of his driveway selling his solution, and he earned the same amount of money on both days. On the first day, he was selling this concoction for 60 cents per glass. The question simply is, what did he charge? What was the price on the second day for him to have earned same amount of revenue as the first day, given the fact that today, on the next day, on the second day, the mixture was 1:2. For every 1 part orange juice, he had 2 part water. Whereas yesterday, for every 1 part orange juice, he had 1 part water. The ratio was 1:2. Today it is 1:2. The ratio was 1:1 yesterday. Today it is 1:2. That's what it is. I need the room. I need a lot of room, so I'm going to have to erase everything right away. So let's start it. Let's start it. Now here's the deal. Listen carefully. When I read this problem, I did it in some way which some people call it quick and dirty. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it the proper way first, so that you don't feel like I'm cheating. We're going to do the proper way, the academic way, the conventional way, the traditional way, the orthodox way, the geeky way, the nerdy way, the mathematical way first, and then at the end I'm going to tell you what went through my mind and how I did it. In a quick and dirty way, it goes like that. But you might find that it's too dirty, so I'm going to do it the proper way first. Okay? I'm going to do the proper way first, and then we'll talk about the quick and dirty way. The proper way is very cumbersome. It's very involved. So here's the solution. Let the amount of orange juice be X ounces. So we are pretending that we use a can of orange juice which contain X ounces. Therefore, on the first day, 2X ounces were sold. Why 2X ounces? Because here's the juice, here's the water, the ratio is 1:1. Ratio is 1:1. On the first day, if he had X ounces of orange juice, he had X ounces of water. To combine, he must have sold 2X ounces on the first day. Let G be the amount of solution per glass. So however much it contains in a glass, I'm calling it G. It may be 4 ounces, the size of the glass may be 10 ounces, whatever it is. For example, For example, here's your juice, here's your water. If you had 100 ounces of water and 100 ounces of juice, you must have 100 ounces of water for a total of 200 ounces. And if the glass size was, say, 10 ounces, if the size of the glass was 10 ounces, then how do we find out how many glasses he sold? Well, it's very simple, 200 divided by 10. If the glass has a size of 4 ounces, it would be 200 divided by 4. If the glass happens to be the size of 5 ounces, it would have been 200 divided by 5. Here it is 2x, divided by g. That's how many ounces we have. That's how many glasses he sold. That's how many glasses he sold. So let G be the amount of solution per glass. Therefore, on the first day, 2x over g glasses were sold, as we just found out here, 2x over g. That's it, we're done with that part. Let's do the second day now. That's it, let's keep it aside here. We're going to make a note here that 2x over g glasses were sold on first day. That's it, we're done with the first day. Let's do the second day. On the second day, same thing, x ounces on the second day. Just give me 1 second, okay? On the next day, the solution was made by mixing the same amount of orange juice with twice the water. Alright, so on the second day we have x ounces of juice with 2x ounces of water. X ounces of juice with 2x ounces of water. In other words, 3x ounces were sold. 3x ounces were sold. Because we are told that everything that he made, he managed to sell all of it on both days. That implies that he must have sold 3x over g glasses on second day. So let's make a note here. 3x over g glasses on second day. Let's continue then. I need the room. Now I'm going to introduce 4 variables, P1 and P2. This is the price on first day, which we are told actually is 60 cents. And this is the price on second day, which of course is our unknown, which is what we want to solve for, the P2, the P subscript 2. R1 is our revenue on the first day. Revenue per day, first day, but we are told on the first day we sold this many glasses. 2x over g, and each was sold for 60 cents. So this is our revenue in terms of cents. And R2 is our revenue on second day. Revenue on second day, which is number of glasses sold times P2. That's it. Now all we have to do is equate the two and solve for the P2, because we are told that the revenue on the 2 days is the same. On both days you earn the same revenue. So let's do it here. We are told that R1 equals R2. In the problem we are told that the amount of revenue that he earned on the first day is the same amount of revenue that he earned on the second day. Do they actually use the word revenue? That'll be silly, because this is just some kid selling some orange juice. Oh yeah, actually they do use the word revenue. If the revenue from selling the or I don't know how to pronounce the thing. So here we go. 2x over g times 60 equals 3x over g times p2. That's it. That's all it is. And it's a very simple solution. Here we go. Okay, stay with me in the story here. Since g appears on both sides of the equation at the bottom, if you were to multiply both sides of the equation by g, g drops out. If you were to divide both sides of the equation by x, x drops out. If you were to divide both sides of the equation by 3, 3 drops out and 60 becomes 20. Voila. The answer is P2 equals 2 times 20. It's 2 times 20. That's all. The answer is 40. But this was a very roundabout, very tedious way of solving a very simple problem that could have been done very easily, intuitively. Very easily, intuitively. And I'm going to explain to you now what the intuitive process would be if you're interested. I need the room for it, so I need to raise everything. I need the room. Look, here's what I said to myself. Okay, listen to me. Here's what I said to myself. On the first day, he has 1 part water and 1 part juice. Water and juice. I'm writing everything down that went through my mind here as simply as I can. So 1 part water, 1 part juice. He sold 2 parts for 60 cents. Please stay with me in the story. He sold 2 parts for 60 cents. I'm pretending that he just made enough concoction for just 1 glass. That's it. So he sold just one. I'm pretending that he sold only 1 glass on the first day. Half of the glass was orange juice, half of the glass was water, and he sold it for 60 cents. End the story. On the next day, he will have 2 parts water. He will have 2 parts water and 1 part juice. That's 3 parts. Now, if he sold 2 parts for 60 cents, 2 parts equals 1 glass. We have to understand that this 2 parts equals 1 glass. As I explained to you before, that I was pretending in my mind that he only sold 1 glass, which means half a glass was orange juice, half a glass was water, 2 parts equal 1 glass. Next day, he sold 3 parts. Because next day he used the same amount of orange juice, half a glass of orange juice, except he poured that half a glass of orange juice in 1 glass of water, making it 1.5 glass. 3 parts, which equals 1.5 glass. And we are told that he sold that 1.5 glass for the same amount of money. We are told that he sold the same amount of, he sold the same 1.5 glass for the same amount of money that he got yesterday. So if 1.5 glass equals 60 cents, 1 glass must be 40 cents. Because 40 plus 20 is 60. And if you still insist on solving it properly, we'll solve it properly. 1.5 glass is same as 3 over 2g equals 60. Therefore g equals 60 times 2 over 3 divided by 3, so we get 20 times 2, same as before here. That's it. It's 20 times 2. He must have sold it for 40 cents because he's selling 1.5 glass today as opposed to yesterday when he sold only 1 glass. And if he's selling 1.5 glass for the same amount of money, he must be charging 40 cents. 40 cents for the full glass and another 20 cents for half a glass. Hence making it a 60 cents. That's it. So this is another way of doing it instead of doing the mumbo jumbo that we did before. It was too much work. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.